Hello everybody, my name is Cogline3639. Welcome back to another video. Today in this one I'll be doing another tier list video, and today in this one we'll be doing a tier list on the hand traps for the post-photon hypernova format. Yeah, here's the thing with this format though. Some of the hand traps are pretty bad. A lot of people are playing board breakers over hand traps right now. I still want to rank them because I feel like there are still some decent ones in this format. So yeah, without further ado, let's get straight in to the video here. We got Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring to start us off here. I am going to absolutely put this in probably S. This is probably one of the best hand traps in this format. If you were going to play a hand trap, Ash is very, very good. It hits any deck you verse, it will always do something against, because something will always play into Ash. Against Castria, you know, you can hit the Papaya, you can either hit the Unicorn or stuff, but you don't really want to do that. Hitting this with Papaya could be really, really good. Also the field spell as well. Against Branded, it's basically an FTK, which is absolutely insane. And then against Labyrinth, you know, hitting one of the welcome Labyrinths are always good with Ash Blossom. So yes, very much probably one of the best hand traps in this format. Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion. I don't know. I'm going to put this in niche, I guess. There's really not a deck that plays into it. I guess Branded can, with like the Branded Banishment or Red and stuff like that, or even Expulsion. But if they have Lost on the field, this doesn't really do anything. I mean, I guess if you want to hit the Expulsion, because Expulsion doesn't specifically fusion summon, you could Ghost Bell. Maybe I put it to B for that case. We're going to keep it at niche for right now. We'll maybe move it up, but Ghost Bell, there's really only one deck it really hits. You can hit one, like the big Welcome Labyrinth against when you're versing Labyrinth, but that's really it for that deck, and this does not hit Castria whatsoever. Chaos Hunter. I like Chaos Hunter. The only problem with Chaos Hunter is, well, it gets hit by any of the book cards that are being played. Book of Moon, Book of Eclipse, Book of Lunar Eclipse. You know, this gets hit by that because, yeah, having the special and then, you know, your opponent can't banish is insane against Branded and Castria. But if they have a book card, then they'll just book this face down, and then all of a sudden they can start banishing again, which is, you know, not really that great. I think Chaos Hunter is good. I just don't, I think there's just some weaknesses to it. So I'm going to put it in B tier for now. Gen X Ally Cycle Reader? Cycle Reader is what it's called. We're going to put this in bad. Unless you're versing Drytron, I mean, that's it. That's all that hits is Drytron. And Drytron is a rogue deck, I would say. It's not, you know, tier, it's there, but, you know, I don't think it's worth playing the fucking Cycle Reader for it. DD Crow. I'm also going to throw the Bestials in this category as well. It could be, I think I put this in, I'm going to put this in niche. I'm going to put it with Ghost Bell. The only problem is because basically every deck doesn't really care about its graveyard right now. There's no deck you can think about, oh, like, oh, the DD Crow can hit that, or oh, a Bestial can hit that. Against maybe Branded, you can think of it, you know, hitting like the Expulsion targets or something like that could be nice, but they can play around that by, you know, banishing the Nightmare for something, the gimmick puppet Nightmare for something. They can play around it like that, or if they do Branded in red, you know, you can DD Crow that. But that's like the only situation I can think of in this meta where DD Crow or the Bestials can actually do something. Maybe against, you know, Math Mech it does something as well. But I think just in this format, they're not really that great compared to what last format used to be. Shifter. Here's the thing with Shifter. Is not that people aren't main decking Shifter anymore. They're side decking Shifter because against a lot of the matchups, Shifter doesn't really do anything. There's a, you know, the top decks can still play through Shifter. Castria doesn't care. Labyrinth doesn't care. Branded somewhat cares, but they can still very much play with Shifter on the field. We'll put it at the top of B. I think that's probably fine. Maybe bottom A, but top of B, just because compared to what last format, yeah, this is like an A for sure, but this format, I don't think Shifter is as great. Spooky Dogwood, we're going to put this in niche. This is only a time win card, and that's really it, and that's the only reason why this sees play ever is just for a time win card. So yeah, we'll put this in niche for now. Even against Castria, the Castria monsters don't activate their effects to special summon, so that doesn't really do anything for Spooky Dogwood. Again, you can wait until, you know, they activate Papaya or something like that. But again, it's only a time win card, so we're going to put it in niche. Droll and Lockbird. Droll is like also niche. Like, it's not that great against the top decks. It doesn't really do anything. Against rogue decks, you can think of it like Dark World, Drytron, you know, any punk version. You know, this actually does do something. Against Rika, it does something as well. Against the rogue matchups, yes, but against the top decks, it doesn't do shit against. So maybe we put this bottom of B just for that reason. Yeah, we'll put it. Fuck. We'll put bottom of B. For now, we might put it back to top of niche. We'll see. We'll see. Just because against rogue matchups, it does help, but against meta, it doesn't really do anything. Gamma. I like Gamma. I think Gamma is decent. The only problem with Gamma is people can play, this can play into Triple Tactic Thrust, but not that many people are playing that card, so we'll put it in A. I think Gamma is a really, really nice card. The only problem is it doesn't really do anything going first. It's only a going second hand trap compared to like something like Ash Blossom you can go first or second with. You know, Hunter, Shifter is weird, Droll. Like a lot of the hand traps you can go first and second with. Gamma is one of those hand traps where you kind of just have to go second for this to really work, but is a very good hand trap in out of itself. Ghost Mourner. This is just a weaker Veiler or Imperm. It can only hit special summon monsters, which kind of sucks. We'll put it in B because it's still a good card, especially against like Castria. It could be very, very good. And it also has the burn effect as well if it leaves the field, but I don't think it's probably B. B is probably fine for it. Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries. Here's the thing with Reaper and Winter Cherries is all the decks right now have a tight extra deck except for maybe like the trap decks, but the trap decks don't want to play this card whatsoever. But so in that case, since the extra decks are kind of tight, there's really no way for Reapers to do something. I'll put it in niche. We'll put it above Spooky Dogwood. I think like we'll put it here. We'll put it here. Again, against if you have the extra deck space for it, then maybe it could work. But again, it's really only a going second hand trap as well. This doesn't really do anything going first because your opponent has to control more monsters than you do. Again, this is all right to hit like the big guys like the Arise Heart or the Shangri-La. Against Branded, hitting like the Mirror Jade could be nice. But again, I think it's more just a niche just because there's a lot of other decks that are in this format. Gnome Material. What? I forget what Gnome Material does, to be honest with you. Hold up, I gotta quickly look this up real quick. No. Let me see. My bad. Have to. Just because I don't really know what it does. Like, I have an idea of what it does. Okay. If your opponent special summons a monster while you control no cards, this card, target one face of monster your opponent controls this turn cannot be treated or used as material. But it doesn't negate its effects, which is like, whatever, right? Okay, so in that case, going back here, we will put this in, like, this seems pretty bad. Like, hitting, like, a unicorn could be nice, but doesn't negate its effects, so it doesn't really do anything. That's the problem. If it negated it and then did what it did, that could be nice, but, like, I don't even want to put it in niche. I think it's just pretty bad. Imperm. Again, I think this is an A quality. Very, very good. Going first or going second, Imperm is very, very good. Actually, we'll put this above Gamma here. I think it's one of the few hand traps that are very, very good in this format. Doesn't play into any of the triple tack cards, which is very, very good. Getting the negate is always nice. I think that's just one of the best hand traps in the game. Lancia. Where do I put Lancia? I put Chaos Hunter at B. And I think Lancia is better than Chaos Hunter. We'll put it there. We'll put it... Yeah, I think that's probably fine for Lancia. Again, this is really only to hit the Castria matchup. Against Branded, it doesn't do anything because it only can be activated during your opponent's turn, which is the downside to Lancia, unlike Chaos Hunter, where you can do it during either player's turn, and it's while it's on the field, it just sticks. While Lancia, it's only during your opponent's turn where Lancia can activate. So there's that, but there's not that many outs to that. So against Castria, it's nice, but against every other deck, it doesn't really do anything against. Like, Branded doesn't care. It could probably still do its plays even through a Lancia. Maybe this is weird. Like, there are pros and cons between Hunter and Lancia. We'll just keep it there. I think that's probably fine. Nibiru, A tier. Absolutely A tier. Again, against like a trap deck like Labyrinth doesn't do anything, but against a meta deck like Castria and rogue decks as well, Nibiru is just a very high impactful hand trap. Very, very good. Do we put it above Nib? Yeah, you can decide your case here. I think Nib is very, very good. Has to be an A tier just because it covers the rogue matchup, because a lot of the rogue stuff can be special summoning a lot, like Drytron and Rika and stuff. But can also hit the meta deck in Castria, and even Branded if they, don't play around it as well. Org Dance, I was about to say Org Dance, or like the fucking punk card. Ghost Org. I don't know. Like, it has its applications, right? Against Birth, it's pretty alright. Against the Field Spell for Castria, it could be very good. Against Branded, doesn't do anything to Lost. Maybe if they're playing Beast, this could do something against a Beast. Against Labyrinth, it doesn't do anything. We'll put it but Droll is like even. We'll put it at the top of Niche, and we'll put Droll back down to Niche as well. Again, against no, we'll put. I think Droll's B. Ghost Orc, just because there's not really that many things to hit in the format. I think it's all right. I don't think it's the best, but I don't think it's the worst either. It's all right. It's okay. Orange Light. This is pretty bad. Yeah, don't play Orange Light. I think Orange Light is only good if you can search it, and the only deck that can search it is Drytron. So in Drytron, it's all right. But in every other deck, Orange Light is pretty fucking bad, especially being at 1, so you're not going to see it at much. So Drytron's really the only deck that can take advantage of this card. Phantasme, I will also put in bad. We'll put Orange Light above these. We'll put Phantasme below the Gno material, just because there's not that many Link decks in this format. The top meta decks don't play Links. Like Castria maybe can make a Link, but they're not going to, do it turn 1. Yeah, Phantasme just isn't that great in this format. Skullmeister is... Oh, my bad. What the fuck did you pull that out? Skullmeister. This seems pretty bad as well. What's activating in Graveyard this format? Nothing really. Like, I'm going to put this in bad. Like, I think it's pretty bad. I think Orange Light's the top of bad. Just because there's nothing activating in Graveyard. So, like, it's a cheap hand trap. There's that. But there's nothing activating in the Graveyard in this format. So, there's really nothing for Skullmeister to do. I guess against Branded, if they do their chain links wrong, then sure. But, like, I don't know. I think you just play different hand traps at that point. Token Collector is bad as well. It's only good against Sword Soul, and that's it. And if you're scared of Sword Soul, just play Imperm and Valor and stuff like that. Again, pretty bad, but it has its one matchup where it just destroys that matchup. But besides that, it's doing nothing. And then Effect Valor for our last one. I think this is a very good hand trap. I would put this below Nibiru. Above Gamma is probably correct for me. I think Valor is very good. It's just another Imperm against it's a monster, which is a problem, so it plays into Castria monsters, but I think Valor is alright considering the circumstances. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave that there. So there is my tier list. Ash Blossom being the only S1, which is fine, because I feel like that's really the only best hand trap in this format, where if you have a slot for a hand trap, put in Ash, because Ash just hits so much, especially against Brandon, where it's just basically an FTK. A tier, Imperm, Niv, Valor, Gamma. I think that's probably fine. Maybe you can disagree with Gamma, but I think that's fine. B tier, we have Ghost Mourner, Shifter, Lancia, Chaos Hunter, Droll. Actually going to put Shifter a little lower now that we look at it, just because Shifter and Droll are more for the rogue matchups, not really against the meta calls, and then this is like alright. Niche, we have Ghost Org, DD Crow, and the Bestial monsters, Ghost Bell, Reapers, and Spooky Dogwood, which I think that's probably fine, and then bad Orange Light, because at 1, and the only deck that can't play it can at least search it. But against any other deck, it's pretty bad. Token Collector, there's only one deck that this hits, and just play other hand traps at that point. Skullmeister, there's really nothing activating in the graveyard. Yugioh Material, it doesn't negate its effects, so it doesn't really do anything. Phantasme, there's no link deck in the format, so there's really no point to play this. And Cycle Reader is only for Drytron, and just play Nibiru because they play Nibiru. But yeah, that is it for the video. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more content on the channel, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.